I'm Sherry Ingram, and I'm spearheading the Water Sustainability Initiative for Transition Asheville and my company Waterworks. And we are here at Peace and Fun Gardens, the home of Michelle Smith, to start putting in some terraces. Terraces are one of many infiltration features that people can use to help the water seep into the ground and improve soil moisture, recharge aquifers, and keep the soil complex so that it can do its job of nourishing plants and filtering contaminants. So when you do infiltration features, it's important that they be level. So this is an A-frame level, and its application is very old. They used them on the pyramids of Egypt, and they almost definitely used them at large terrace installations in the Far East, Middle East, South America, and I use PVC pipe because it is durable, and then I like using a bolt with a butterfly nut because then I can collapse the A-frame level down, and it's important when you make an A-frame level that that you have some way to keep the connections strong. You don't want it slipping around. I learned that on my first one, which I made from bamboo and string, and then pretty soon it wasn't working. So so now I use these advanced materials, and I don't even feel guilty about it. But so what we have here is three pieces of PVC pipe. Two are one length, and then there's a cross piece. And some other things that I've learned. One is that you have to have your string long enough to reach the bar, and that you have to have this hole and this hole parallel. You can't have one this way and one this way. So also you want to have your cross piece high enough so that the bob can swing easily. You don't want grass or anything like that getting in the way, although you can stamp it down and still manage, but those are some things that I've learned. So the way that it works is that we marked the place in the middle where it shows that it's level, because the string is going to stay perpendicular to the ground. So right now we're going downhill a little bit, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit this way and that way until I get it in the middle. And then I know that this point right here and this point are at the same elevation. Sometimes it looks that way, but a lot of times it doesn't look that way. So I want to have an extended distance, and so I can just walk this around and find out, well, what's level to this. And then I can just put in another little flag. and then we start to have a line, and the line is all one elevation. So, so when we put in our terraces, we want them to be level. Other things that need to be level are contour berms and swales, and also an infiltration basin. We need to have the bottom and the foot also level. So, with that little lesson under our belts, we're going to go over here. This is where we're going to put in some little terraces. And I intentionally use very cheap materials to free materials because I want people to understand that it doesn't cost a lot of money to do these water infiltration features. We've been draining our land for about 200 years, and it's pretty typical, I think, of some of our culture that if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, and I think we've done that with water. So the option instead of drainage is infiltration or recharge. And the way that we can help that happen is we can make these small-scale earthworks in our yards and our neighbors' yards to invite the water to stay, give it time to soak into the ground, and be useful for us there. So last year I cut some little locust trees out of my mother's power swatch, and so I brought those today for us to use for the terraces that we're going to use. And this is what we have, and I can get more, but this is what we're going to do.